Hello guys, it's Scotty here, aka Skitsdrift. Welcome back to another video. In today's video guys, we're mixing it up. No more of this build guides, no more of this slamfests. Today we're bringing you some original PD2 content. We're going to be giving you some build changes. We're going to be talking about some content changes, alterations, things in my personal opinion and my community's opinion that need to change when Season 2 drops. So guys, if you enjoy my content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And let's roll the intro. Boom.
So it begins.
Welcome back guys. Before we jump into the 5 things that I feel should be changed in Season 2, Project Diablo 2, I just want to give a quick message to Senpai Something and the devs behind Project Diablo 2. Please take this as constructive criticism. Please don't take it personally. Please don't ban me. So let's jump straight in guys. So this is the opinion of myself and my community. So we're going to start with number 1, some balance changes. So there's 4 main balance changes I'd like to see made to Season 2 Project Diablo 2. The first one is we need to stop aura stacking. So when you stack, 2 dreams together, or for example the Dragon and Paladin has 3 Holy Fire auras coming from 3 different types of gear. So you've obviously got the Hoge, you've got the 2 Dragon, Armor and Shield. It's extremely overpowered and you'll see it in this video a little bit later. So aura stacking I feel like needs to be stopped, so you can only get 1 aura for 1 piece of equipment. Second thing I feel like needs to be changed is we should try and introduce an Infinity Shield. At the moment, Infinity can only be made in a polearm weapon for a mercenary, or obviously whatever can carry a polearm can use Infinity. But I feel like a shield would be really nice because there's a few melee builds where they kind of need a bit of a buff. So having an Infinity Shield, it gives you another option basically, because Conviction reduces enemies' defense, so that's in turn going to buff physical damage builds. So that's Infinity Shield, I think would be really cool. The third thing I feel like needs a little bit of a buff is the martial arts skill tree. I know there's been a bit of talk about that happening. Senpai and the devs ran out of time before Season 1 got released. But seeing a buff to the martial arts skill tree for the assassin would be awesome. I feel like having a kick mastery would be really nice to increase the damage, and also having Dragon Talon having % weapon damage would be really cool, so it takes advantage of crushing blow, deadly strike, things like that. That would be really nice. That's all I'm going to talk about for regards with balance changes. Everything else in my opinion feels okay. Obviously I haven't tried every single build out there, so if there's any other balance changes you feel like need addressed, please drop them in the comments below. Now let's move on to number 2 now guys. So number 2, we're going to talk about endgame content, harder endgame content. So as we come towards the end of the season, people are starting to get a little bit bored, running tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 maps. They can only get so much density, the experience is a little bit lacking, the drops are a little bit lacking, and there's a little bit less of an incentive to run these endgame maps, because you can do them solo basically. So what I feel like we need is some sort of, either tier 4 map or some sort of special map that you can open that you can only complete in a group of 6, 7, 8 players. You get increased rate of drops. There has to be something special. Another idea I had was having the, for example, a dungeon. I know there was talk of dungeons being brought in as well. I'm not sure if this is in line with what I'm talking about, but have the dungeon boss drop a special token, which in turn opens up a special map. So if you guys are familiar with Path of Diablo mod, it has a special map that only has cows in it, and it has a high chance of drops, magic find modifiers, things like that. So we could replicate something like that in PD2, so you could have a map that opens up that only has ghosts in it, for example, as you know, or ghosts and wraiths that have the lightning damage. As you guys know, they have a higher chance of high rune drops, so you can make them drop tons of gold. You can make them have a higher chance to drop high runes, and give it like a time limit or something like that. Moving on now, let's talk about number 3. So number 3, I want to talk about drop rates. So drop rates in PD2 are set to P5 or player 5. I've been playing now for, since the season release, but I play for about 20 to 25 hours a week. I feel like I have considerable wealth. Other friends that I have that can only play, 10 hours a week, maybe 15 hours a week, they have families, they have full-time jobs, they can only play on the weekend. They found it very hard to find decent items in PD2. So I feel like the drop rates need to be buffed a little bit, whether we go to P7 or maybe if we just, tweak the high rune drop rates a little bit just to make it a little bit more beneficial to the casual player base. That way we can retain more of our player base towards end season, because I noticed that, a lot of our player base has dropped off towards the end of the season. Trades are a lot harder, not a lot of people have the items anymore. So, again, some more critical feedback. So we're going to talk about now is our DC clone. So the fastest way to gain wealth in Project Diablo 2 is farming Ennies. It's an extremely easy process. You basically just boss rush tier 1 maps, get the PDEs. You can either sell them for high rune currency, or if you have a decent Bladesin build, as you'll see towards the end of the video, you can basically just farm DC clone in about 30 seconds. So I feel like 2 things need to change to Diablo clone, or maybe 3 things depending on how far you want to go, but look, just make Diablo clone move. Simple as that. Make him move, give him his own AI, just like Uber Diablo in Tristram. He moves around, he's very agile. Have something like that set up. Number 2, add minions in there. I don't know what minions I could, as an example, but add some sort of minion in there to make it harder to cheese. The next thing I want to talk about is some quality of life changes. There's 3 main quality of life changes I'd like to see in Season 2 Project Diablo 2. So the first one is shared stash. This has been mentioned by multiple people before. It's available in Pluggy. So it's basically going to reduce the chance of people losing all their items. When there's a realm down or the servers drop or something like that, it's going to reduce the need for people to exfil. It's going to reduce people stealing things. It's going to reduce the load of moderators. It's just a win-win for everybody. So I don't know whether it's able to be done, but if it is, then I feel like a shared stash would be awesome. Whilst you're there, I feel like having the ability to hold multiple torches and Ennies would be really nice as well. The second change I'd like to see is automatic stacking from your inventory into your stash. So obviously shift right click moves it into your stash from your inventory. For it to be able to auto stack would be just such a nice quality of life change. It's just going to save like a million clicks basically, but that would be really nice. And the last thing I want to talk about is the ability to auto pick up gold. Gold is a very valuable thing in Project Diablo 2. You pick it up all the time. Again, it's very valuable. So having the ability to auto pick up or have the option to turn it on or off would be really nice. That's pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below